Hello. Uh, I am going to be reacting to an album here. I did do a reaction to Darker US's self-titled album last year, and I actually tried to do a reaction for Silent Planet's release, also Iridescent. But I was like, you know what? I'll be fancy and do a live stream instead of just a video recording. And then I tried to do that, and like the second I started, it got taken down for copyright even though I've seen other people do live stream reactions to that album that you can watch right now. So I don't get how that works. I haven't got like a strike on the channel, so I'm not gonna risk that anymore. Um, but I decided to check out. Well, I'm deciding this randomly. Kardashev's new release Liminal Rite. Now, first, I'm gonna apologize. Also, it is hot as fucking here. I had to turn my fan off because if not, it would just be blowing air into the mic and you would hear it constantly. So that's not going to work. So I'm probably going to be sweating and look gross, but sorry. It's like over 90 outside. Um, anyway, I'm choosing to react to this because I've actually known about Kardashev for a few years. I want to say 2017. It was whichever the year after their almanac EP was when I discovered them. I know it was a year. I know I was a year late in finding that. And honestly, that EP is maybe like top five like albums ever in my opinion. It's such a unique sound. It's such a unique atmosphere, feeling. If you've never heard of this before, you'll see what I mean. Hopefully, as we listen to this, I'm sure this is going to be a little bit different. I have listened to the two singles a couple times, not a lot. Not because I don't like them, but just because I don't know. I just didn't want to just throw myself into them a lot. Now this is a long album; it's an hour long. So, and I'm just gonna sort of sit back and listen to the whole thing. I might pause here and there with the songs, but I might just kind of want to have it flow through the whole thing because that's kind of how their earlier stuff has felt. So, I think I'm gonna be doing that. We'll see um, if stuff comes up, but yeah, of course, if you like this, then you should support the band themselves, whichever way you can. Um, they're going to deserve all the credit they can for all their stuff. Also, the vocalist for this band, Mark, has the channel Cardivox Academy, which also he does reactions to metal music stuff as well, but he used it from the aspect of like, I'm going to teach you how they do these vocals, which is an awesome thing. So that's fantastic, and I think is kind of the best you can do with that. So support that as well if you're into that. So without further ado, let's get started. This is going to be a long one. I'm going to sweat my ass off, but I think it's worth it. So here we go. Starting with the first track, The Approaching of Atonement. There's not going to be too much to look at here, so I guess you get to look at me instead. Hooray. um, but yeah, this band has a lot of very kind of quiet, atmospheric parts that will just often explode into craziness. It it's this perfect sort of balance of beauty and power, and again,
fields of gold sway like waves of the ocean.
I'm gonna shut the fuck up.
Gentle chimes echo through the air. Their dancing melodies swing with the wind. A unison of wonder from the heavens. Surface level beauty apparent to common eyes. But underneath are my memories. Below the golden breeze, a piece of me remains cold and still. Placed there as a result of my own negligence. I caused us all so much grief, and the guilt consumes me still. I left this place, but you stayed. The further from you I get, the more your face is clouded. I can't see you, and I can't hear your name. I don't want to forget. I don't want you to disappear. I need to return. I need to see you again.
Just like I was saying. Those spoken word parts remind me of the Humanity albums by I Exist. Don't know how many people know about them. More of a kind of hard rock kind of thing, but whatever. Okay, starting off with the clean. I could see some people not liking that they're kind of quiet in the mix, but I think it overall works with the overall sound. And honestly, I'm not really a lyrics person, so the fact that I can't really tell what he's saying, I honestly don't really care. So... yeah, got some pretty beastly lows. Cool. I love when they do that kind of stuff. I don't know. It's just... ooh, that snare. This part definitely having a familiar vibe to the Bearing of Shadows EP that they released in late 2020. Turning this light on help at all? Nah, it didn't help at all. I don't have any good lighting set up for stuff, so whatever, I was just curious. Yup. Ooh, got all the layers going on there. I hope my, I ordered DoorDash to show up in like, I don't know, another 45 minutes or so. I hope it doesn't show up in the middle of this, so it might. Let me just check to see if there's another thing. Okay, here. I don't want to be staring at my phone. I'll leave that over there. Okay. I think this track, again, if you've never heard Kardashev before, this is a great sort of like, this is the norm of what to expect with this, right? So, it's covering all the main bases. I don't think it does anything like absolutely amazing in terms of what they have done, especially with their stuff. But it's covering all, again, it's a great introduction and it'll hook you in for sure if you've never heard of this before, so, yeah. It just keeps going. Well, there was a little break in the middle, so okay, fine. I'm gonna wait a second to say something. Bass. I was gonna say how I don't get how drummers can keep that up. I don't. I'm obviously muscles. You know, you build it up as you go, but still, it's just good lord. I feel like you just develop like some sort of joint problem or something. I don't know. And yeah, here's what I was saying about the fade in into the next thing, presumably. Well, I mean, we had the fade in from the intro into this silvered shadows. No, yeah, silvered shadows. Going into apparitions in candlelight. I might be imagining it, but I feel like you can hear a little tiny bit of a melody that's like a leftover melody from the previous song in the guitar, in like a guitar that's way in the background. I don't know, maybe I was imagining it. Oh, the air conditioner turned on. That's nice, at least. Okay, I didn't get the beat at first, but because I was just like kind of thrown off. Okay, I got it now. Like, come on, dude. Like, how does that wrist work? Or is it the wrist, or is it like the? I feel like the elbow would be harder though. I don't know. I don't know drumming, like the techniques of drumming, like at all, really. I feel like I have a great sense of rhythm, and I like it. I like the, you know, I can do percussion decently well. Just like give me a thing to whack on, but like an actual drum kit and the technique of it, I don't know anything. I feel like you don't know too much to say, just because it's, I don't know. Once you get into the style of it, it's just, I don't know. I feel like having the cleans and screens on top of each other, I feel like they didn't do that much before, so that's kind of a new thing to point to, but... like the keys in there. Okay. Bit of a little solo. Sort of, kinda, whatever. I think there's only one. I don't know if I shouldn't say this. I think there's only one guitarist, but I'm really not sure. I mean, obviously, when you're making a song on an album, you can, you know, doesn't mean there's one guitar track in the whole thing. Obviously not, but like, you know. Yeah, it's just the thing to get lost in. It works really well in that sense. That's a cool little background melody. Damn, that's fast kick. I'm waiting for them to just go full on with the blast piece and besides this little fill, so I'm not sure if they're gonna do it. You know, that, but more. Is this the end of the song? Oh, yeah, just switched over, okay. I think I like that one a little bit more than the previous one, but they're both really good, so. Okay, Dissever? I actually never heard that before. Let me look this up. Dissever. Okay, it's a verb to divide or sever. I mean, okay, fine. Just want to feel fancy. I get it. I did briefly look at the, you know, the stuff here at the bottom of the video, and yeah, this was like kind of a short little thing, so having it be a little instrumental interlude is surprising. Oh god, I almost swallowed my spit. Ooh. The drop. Okay, that worked pretty much perfectly as a bridge. Again, like if I wasn't looking at, you know, if I wasn't looking at this stuff here, I wouldn't have noticed. I probably would have just felt like, yeah, this is all one big song. Considering I think the last song in this album is like 11 minutes long, I mean, like, you know, I wouldn't even notice. So. Anyway, it's Lavender Calligraphy. like the little symbol fills at the end of the measure right here. There's honestly more cleans than I thought there would be. I don't know. That's not a criticism by any means. It's just curious. Where the symbol fill. Of course, whatever, you know what I mean. That right there. Okay, I'm sorry I have like nothing to say for this. It's just you just gotta, you know, enjoy the ride. I like the guitar that's back here. Good, we're good. Are we gonna be moving on to the next track here? Yep. Oh, another short one here. I'm guessing another little instrumental switch to the next one. Yep, the Blinding Threshold. Into the first single that was released. Now, I haven't really listened to this since it came out. And again, that's not because I didn't like it. I don't know, I just didn't really listen to it again. So I'm curious how this is gonna feel.
Transformed, a shapeless artifact of myself long gone.
This is the halfway.
Fragments in my mind of who I once was, but the memories are obscured by regrets, by apologies I'll never have the chance to make. My eyes no longer see them. Faces and shadows of those who have gone from my view. The weight of all I've seen blurs my vision. These eyes are not my own. I don't see myself in the mirror. I do not recognize this image. Past or present.
This is the halfway point track-wise, though not album length-wise. I think we're only about like.
These eyes can't be my own. I can't see myself in the mirror.
Yeah, we're about 40%.
I cannot recognize this image. Past or present.
solid transition for something that, like, again, I did remember that this song came in hard like that, so I remembered it after hearing it. So I do wonder if this is going to try to do a thing where, like, the first half of the album kind of has one sound and the second half has another sound. I don't know. Because a slight criticism is that the last basically 3 songs, you know, Silver Shadows, Apparitions of Candlelight, and Lavender Calligraphy, they did all sound pretty similar to each other. So I'm wondering if then these are going to have a bit of a different edge. And this one, because it's slower, still having the screams though, it already is a little bit of a different feeling than the previous one. Obviously still very similar overall, but you know. Yeah, I remember this melody. Bass in this is always good. I remember this. I will say, in regards to the 2 singles, I did like the other one a bit more. Again, not saying any of this is bad by any means. It's not even okay. It's good. But I did like The Last Phantom more of the 2. So I'll be curious to see the trend. I mean, it'd be nice to hear the whole song again, but also the transition into and out of that song as we go. Because, yeah, we have Cellar of Ghosts coming up between the 2, and then after that, I can submit. I think, let's see, track-wise, length-wise, yeah, Cellar of Ghosts is, you know, they're all full-length songs too. We're still not halfway. Yeah, we have 4 tracks left, and we're not halfway in terms of the full actual length of the release. So. Okay, build up. Obviously it's gonna explode, I'm just curious exactly how. Ooh. For some reason in my head, I pictured a high-speed train. I don't know why. Get that going! I think this is actually my favorite one so far. I don't know, it just sort of... I don't really know why, to be honest. It's just, I don't know, I'm sticking with this a little bit more than some of the previous ones. I feel like this driving beat, it just wasn't really in the other tracks as much. So it's just, you know, again, it's like the small changes that separate the songs from each other that you can put this together. And I feel like this is a change where this sticks in my head where I'm like, you know, I'll be able to remember this song specifically compared to the other ones more easily. Yeah, I think that was my favorite one so far. Ignoring Glass Phantoms, which I'll listen to right now and see if if I think it's better or worse than this. Let's see, is this transitioning out of? Oh, we still got like a minute and a half. Okay. Got those kicks. Mark's vocals are so good. I had like a feeling that for some reason that was going to end just right there. It's like a boom. I don't know. It's weird. It's like sometimes I feel like I can predict them, even though, you know, not how it normally goes. Okay, here we go. Glass Phantoms. This is a cool moment here. The bass and that guitar thing working together. Sounds cool. This part here is cool. This part with the higher part of the guitar in the background. This reminds me of like something from the Almanac. trying to remember how this track ends. Is it just sort of a fade out? Is this the end, actually? No, it is. Okay. Another transition to this. This is a longer track, though, so I don't think this is... How long is this track? Let's see. 30... Oh, damn. 7.5 minutes? Okay. Could be instrumental. I'm kind of curious if it was, actually. I'm usually not a super big fan of instrumental. Like, okay, let me clarify that. If it's purely instrumental, I honestly can't really get into it most of the time. But if there are instrumental parts to a thing, then I'm usually fine with that. So it's depends. Like, the first thing I think of is the Tony Danza Tap Dance Extravaganza. There's a couple songs in that are instrumental only, including one pretty long one. Is it the Paul Bunyan versus the Blue Ox or whatever the hell the song is? I think it's that one. Anyway, so if that's what they're going for this, then we'll see. I'm very curious to hear the last track, since it is, you know, 12 minutes long. Oh, my food was delivered. But you know what? You'll just have to sit outside. I'm not getting up, I'm not pausing this. Come on, can you give us a bass solo? I mean, kinda, to be honest. You know, the bass here... I'm not saying this is what this is, but the mixing of the bass kinda sounds almost like an upright bass. Which is interesting. I have to lean way over to get my water because I'm on purpose keeping it very far away from my computer. Because, let's just say there was an accident a while ago. So if you're wondering, like, why the hell is he going? Like, way over there, that's why. It has been getting darker outside as I've been going through this. That's because it's, you know, evening here. It's currently what, like 8:22. I mean, this is a nice. Okay, I'll be honest. I'm a little surprised that this is seemingly instrumental. Okay, I'm gonna make a guess. There's gonna be another spoken word narration. Either. Okay, there's three options. End of this track, or beginning of the next track, or just the very end of the album. There was a spoken word thing at the very end of the Almanac EP, both the very beginning and the very end. So they might do that again, or I could see it being a neat kind of drum thing there. Leading into the final track, again, either as the end of this or as the beginning of the next one. But yeah, the voice, I'm sure it's not the same voice, but it's similar to the spoken word narration that's used in I Exist's Humanity EPs. which those are interesting listens if you want to search those up. I Exist, Humanity. You'll find there's 4 parts. They're not really like this. Again, they're more kind of like a hard rock kind of thing. It's kind of that, you know, half rock, half metal sort of type of music. Again, not the same, but the voice reminds you of it. So if you're curious, that's something you could check out at one point. Let's see, how much longer do we have here? Oh, wow, fair amount still. Oh! Well, shit. Okay. I honestly did not think this was going to happen. Is this like going to help now? Nah, it looks like... Not really. I mean, it lights me up a bit more, but it looks weird. I don't know. Whatever. You don't need to see me that much anyway. I will say, notice, right when I went to check the time to see how much is left, that's when it transitioned into vocals. It's like they knew, where they're going to be like, okay, you know, right when they knew that I was going to be like, how much longer is this? They switch it up on me. I will be curious. Okay, I said earlier how I'm not really a lyrics person. What I mean is, I honestly don't really pay attention to the lyrics when I usually listen to something. I'm much more just the overall melody and just overall feel of everything. But this is something where I would be curious to read the lyrics as I'm listening to it another time, because I'm sure that there seems to be some sort of story here, and I'm not following it now because I'm really not paying attention to the lyrics. But I'd be curious to know what it actually is. Interesting. Now we get the last track. Yes. Yes. Beyond the Passage of Embers. And... okay, yep, almost 12 minutes long. Ooh, don't hover the mouse over the stop recording button. Okay. That's a cool noise. I've heard that kind of synth noise used in other things before, and I've always liked it. I like that fade. Well, crossfade. It's not... the tone shift. I don't know the fucking vocabulary. That was a change. interesting. Gotta bust out the sax, okay. I did not expect that. Interesting how that segment did not feel like a normal time signature, but I'm pretty sure it was. Or at least, like, you know, a variation of 4/4, if you want to call it 8/8 or whatever the hell you want to call it, but you know. Okay. I don't want to talk over this, but I don't know when I'm going to be able to hit the point in going forward. A lot of like prog kind of people, both prog rock, prog metal, whatever. I hear a lot of times they talk about, oh my god, the time signatures are so crazy, and I've always felt that like that wasn't necessary. Like, okay, I'm not saying you shouldn't do it, but I feel like people put like too much emphasis on just like, oh, it's a weird time signature that makes it cool. And sometimes it does, but I feel like, again, this right here is a great example where it's sort of a weird rhythm that's still 4/4. You know, I don't feel like this is less interesting because it's not like, you know, 9/9/4 or something, you know what I mean? So, yeah. That's not a criticism at bands that do it. It's more so criticism at, like, fans and commenters who sort of hold that up as a standard above everything else. Anyway, I'm sorry I'm talking over this. This sound is really cool. Here's a question. Do you think this is going to speed up? My guess is yes, simply because it's a 12-minute song, so like I don't expect the entire 12 minutes to be at the same tempo, but I could be wrong. I really like how they use the sax here. Because like when I hear sax like this, of course, my immediate thought is Rivers of Nile, which the work. Here's the speed up. The work is phenomenal. It took a few listens for me to get it, but once I did, it was. But my point is, the sax here, how it's used is different than how it's used in the work. Even though it is similar, but it's different. It's different. You know, I said this was speeding up, but I don't actually think the tempo is actually sped up. It's just the drumming is, you know, a lot faster within the same time signature. But it gives the illusion of speeding up. That's not the end, is it?
I have made my return to the place of my earliest memory.
Oh, yeah.
The consequences of my absence are clear. This place I once called home has gone from me. Were it not for my existence and the remnants of my frail memory, this tired world of mine would be lost.
Just gonna go fucking crazy.
Though everything is different. The animals don't come here anymore. The ground has moved, and the arms of the earth have fallen. The
I feel like
windows
this is gonna go
peering through
nuts.
the overgrowth seem to face a different direction now. Even the cicadas sound different. I cannot fathom how, but
Nice change in
everything
that
has
tone right
changed.
there with the cicadas, you know.
This is not my home.
Yeah, okay. Goddamn. How is this going to end? Talk about like doom metal, good lord. Is it gonna end like this? Maybe. No, it's not. Okay. Or this is very strange, but not in a bad way. I don't really know what to say. Hmm. Very interesting. Oh, I'm gonna have to cut that out. I was holding in a cough. It was bad. Oh, jeez. Um, that was loud. Uh, so that was Liminal Rite by Kardashev. Very interesting ending. Um, that was very interesting. I mean, the whole thing was interesting to be honest. But I will say, I'm very curious to hear what people think of this. If this is their first Kardashev album, I'll be very curious to think that because again, to me, this is my third. Ian, I was the Almanac and then Bearing of Shadows. Man, this is the first full album that I've heard because they had what Peripety, is that how you pronounce it? I I'm sure I listened to it at least once, but I don't remember it, and I have not consistently listened to it. Um, so yeah, this was interesting. It definitely, if I had to compare it to any of their previous stuff, it was definitely more like Bearing of Shadows than like Almanac. So personally, I like the Almanac's overall vibe and just everything a little bit more. So I would still say that's at my top. But I do like this a bit more than Bearing of Shadows. Partly just because there's more. So there's that. Of course, the guitar, all of the instrumentation is done really well. Again, I could see people not really getting into the mix because the mix is very much just sort of like there are parts to this that are actually like hard to hear if you're talking about individual pieces of the instrumentation. But I think that's the point. Given the whole point is just to kind of create this soundscape, right, and this atmosphere of everything, and the vocals are part of that too. I can see people potentially getting turned off by that. I'm not. I think it works really well, but I could see that as being an issue for some people. Um, Vocals, of course, are great. The actual clean singing, which again, there's more of that in here than I thought there would be. Um, Again, not a criticism, just an observation that I think was interesting. Um, but of course, the highs, the lows, it works well. Um, I will say there was not any moment that like blew my mind. Okay, and I'm saying this as someone who thinks the second like the second half, well, the climax slash second half, if you want to define it, of Beyond Sun and Moon, the track that's on the almanac that Kardashev's done, is one of the best moments of like any song I've ever heard. Okay, so granted, the bar was really fucking high, so in terms of this, um, and nothing quite got there during this whole album, but definitely nothing bad at all. Um, and again, definitely some very interesting points for sure. Highlights for me, Glass Phantoms definitely, of course, still a highlight. Um, this last track here, definitely a highlight, especially with how the sax was used. It was not you, it was used in the background, and I think that works for this too because you know it'd be easy to put the sax right up in front because oh look at us, we have a saxophone, but they didn't do that, and I think that's interesting and how it's well done with that. And again, the ending of this last track was just very strange. Yeah, Beyond the Passage of Embers. Again, I do want to read the lyrics to this as I listen to this again later on, just to kind of see what the overall story is. Because I really couldn't pay attention to that while I'm listening to everything else for the first time. Beyond the what's the Cellar of Ghosts? That was an interesting track because again, I had this like drive to it that the other tracks didn't have. So that I like that one too. I like all of it, but I'm what's higher than the rest of them. Um, as for the others, um, I will say that okay, the one on again, a small criticism that I could say for this, and again, this I think I kind of said this earlier. A lot of these tracks do feel pretty similar to each other, especially the first half. The first half sounds very similar. Now it's good. That sound is very good, but for example, like if you sent me a 15-second piece, from the first half of this album, I wouldn't be able to tell you is it from Silvered Shadows, is it from Lavender Calligraphy? I don't know, right? I probably wouldn't be able to tell you. Some of the later tracks I maybe could, right? Especially, you know, again, Beyond the Passage of Embers or Cellar of Ghosts. Um, so that's my small criticism. And to be fair, I could maybe argue that the Almanac is kind of similar in that regard, but the Almanac has the advantage of it's an EP. So, you have 30 minutes of having stuff sounding pretty similar, not as much of an issue as an hour. But again, this is minor. This is very minor, especially because what this similar sound is still really good. It's really well done. And again, compared to other bands, this is still super unique. I haven't really heard anyone sound like this before. Um, the closest example I could give would probably be Numenorian. But even then, it's not that close. Which is another, well, their Adore album from 2019 is again top 10 favorite albums of all time. It's phenomenal. But I don't remember. I looked into this a while ago. I don't remember specifics, but I believe the vocalist was caught doing some not good stuff, and so basically the guitarist was like, "Fuck it, band's over," and it sucks. That yeah, you know, there's been a bunch of stuff that's come out from people, and a lot of metal stuff that's popular, recently about people doing shitty things, and it's just like, is it so hard to just not be an asshole? Like, I don't get it. But anyway, yeah. So overall, let me put it this way: I had high expectations for this album. Did it exceed my expectations? No, but it did not disappoint me. And again, my expectations were very high. Is this my favorite album of the year so far? No, it's not. Rollo Tomasi's "Where Myth Becomes Memory" is still my number one so far. Is this second? Maybe, probably, maybe. I'm not sure. I'd have to. We'll see. Again, right now my second is actually Stone Side's "The Desert," which is criminally underrated. If Please go check. Just type "Stone Side the Desert," and I don't even think it's actually out like as an album on YouTube. There's a playlist that someone made. If you go look at that playlist that has everything, just listen to that, or find. And so that has everything. It's really good. Not the same as this. Again, these are all different kind of things, but so basically, this I'm not sure between this or Stone Side, which I would say is my second. I'm not sure. But I would say, yeah, currently Rollo Tomasi is number one. And it has been basically since it came out. So we'll see if anything dethrones that before the end of the year. Maybe, I don't know. I don't remember what's coming up soon. I mean, but yeah, this is good. Definitely good. Again, like I said, I'd be very curious to see what people said who this is their first Kardashev album. Very curious to see what they think of this. Um, and I hope that this at least gets more eyes on them for sure. And so that would be a very good thing for these guys. I think they deserve more exposure and more success for what they've managed to put together. When am I potentially going to do this again? I don't know. Um, I might actually do this in like a month again, because there is an album that's coming out by Grey Lotus. One word, Grey spelled with an E. Um, that I might want to do a reaction to. I'm not sure yet. We'll see if I decide to do that. I'm not gonna likely to do a lot of reactions, usually because oftentimes I just sort of kind of sit there and just zone out to the music. And I don't really react to. Honestly, I don't feel like I really reacted too much. Like physically seem to react to this, even though I liked it quite a lot. Um, so I don't know. We'll see if there's anything that again. So that's a maybe. Um, Maybe like the Nothing More album that's probably going to come out at the end of this year. Although that's very different than this, but I don't know. We'll see. Anyway, if you did like this, of course, again, please show these guys support through checking out their stuff. Don't just listen to this reaction video. Although I mean, I'm sure they're going to copy it's going to be claimed, and therefore they'll get the ad revenue. But whatever. Support their stuff directly. It's better for them. Um, and yeah, hope you enjoyed at least someone's perspective on this album. If not, um, just the album itself, and maybe you found something new to enjoy. I don't know. Whatever. Um, we should have a movie Monday coming next Monday, and of course, also more D&D stuff in my campaign if you're into that as well. So that's the thing. Anyway, goodbye.